going to come back home. Nor does his wife, nor does his kids. And I want you to know that what you think is a safe traffic stop isn't necessarily a safe traffic stop. And when we live in a place that's so beautiful here, you don't really think about the danger of what a police officer has to do every day. One simple stop of maybe pulling someone over, the wrong person, and maybe that police officer just wants to give that guy a warning, just to say, hey, slow down. He could end up dead. And sadly, I know way too many officers in my past life that had a simple stop and they didn't survive. So the next time that we see a police officer, I hope that even griping over your pesky little ticket, if you get one, that you'd be willing to say thank you for protecting me, thank you for your service, and God bless all those people who went into that building to take care of everybody else. So I salute those who put their lives on the line and wear a gun to protect me. In closing, I just want to remind everybody that Ponderay is a very unique city. It's not unlike very many small towns. I mean, we have the same different kind of issues. They're sometimes challenging and difficult. But we contend with 2 major highways that dissect our town, 4 sets of railroad tracks, a very large daytime population, and you're going to not believe this when I tell you, but in 1 month, over 600,000 cars go down the highways. 600. That is just unbelievable to me. They're in our city and on our highway and on our streets. And we have a very small nighttime population of 1,100 people. 1 private school, 1 church, and 275 at last count businesses. And more on the way. Rumors, no Costco yet. No Applebee's yet. And I don't know what the other rumors are. So those 2 for sure. Sorry to break your hearts, but neither one yet. I should say I don't know if they're ever coming. So anyway, I'm very proud of the city I represent, and I'm more surprised than anybody at the successes and the changes in the last 7 years. So what I want to say to you all is thank you for your patience with Ponderay as we have grown. Thank you for allowing me to speak here, and most importantly, on this day of remembrance. Never forget 9/11. God bless America. Oh, sorry. Why don't you give me some questions and make it upbeat, because that was pretty heavy. So, any questions?
What's going in the Schweitzer Crossing building?
Schweitzer Crossing.
Across from Payless.
Oh, that is a strip mall, and I don't know who they're leasing it to. I think Verizon is one of them, but I don't know who else is going in there yet. So it's interesting. People always think that when you're the mayor of the city, you know, or the city knows, but that's not true. We don't know until they come in and do either a business license or ask for a permit. So that's why I know about Applebee's and Costco. We've never seen anything yet. So. Hi.
I just wanted to give a quick thank you for working for all the bike paths and the pump track out at the new city park. I'm very active, as with Brian, in the Ponderay Peddlers and a lot of the other bicycle organizations, cyclocross organizations in the city and the area. And I took my kids out to the pump track on the little push bikes.
Yeah.
And the moguls are taller than they are.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
And within about 20 minutes, they were going up and down those little hills and around the corners and just absolutely loving it.
It's great.
And there's a little teeter-totter back there for bicycles. You can ride up and down the teeter-totter. And there's a couple of little banked corners, kind of a still Hills Park, and it's fantastic. The kids love it, and they always ask me, when can we go back, when can we go back? And thank you also for supporting the Spot Bus. I use it all the time. I know a lot of people that use it all the time, and it's a fantastic resource for the city, for the community.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a real eye-opener. I don't think any of us knew how successful it was going to be. And I, for one, ride it, and I love it. And I ask people all the time, where are you going? How long have you used it? Do you like it? And most of them, it's interesting, said we would even pay to ride it. I don't want it to be paid for. I'd like it to be as free as possible for as long as possible. Any other questions? Come on, give me a phone. No? Okay.
Answered every question.
Oh, yeah.
About the Spot Bus at the visitor center, you know, we see 15 to 20,000 people a year come through our little visitor center in Sandpoint, and we are always pushing the Spot Bus, always. And also, Schweitzer, we're now hearing people, we didn't even, this is sort of an unintended consequence. There are families who ski up at Schweitzer who say, we don't ski anywhere that doesn't have a public transit system. And the Spot Bus goes to the Red Barn. And so that's really an interesting unintended consequence that we never thought about. And so, and it's like, public transit system. Oh, Spot, right. And so we love it. I mean, our ladies at the visitor center are always telling people, you know, you can get on the Spot Bus, and you can save gas, and you can do this. So it truly is a treasure. I like it a lot. And as I said from the back of the room, Mayor Shaw was unable to be with us today. However, she has sent her president of the city council, Mr. Bill Strand. So welcome, Mr. Strand, and he'll tell us about Dover.
Mayor Shaw sends her regrets. She's in Montana at the moment and couldn't make it today. First, thanks for the opportunity to come here and talk about Dover. We're very excited about things happening in Dover. My name is Bill Strand, president of the City Council. If you've never been out to Dover, come out to City Hall and see us sometime. We've been told it's the most beautiful City Hall in Idaho. And I was taught never to argue with guests, so I just agree with them. It is a lovely place. Our city clerk says in summertime she has a guest for every lunch, because she's out sitting on the steps overlooking the water, or out in the park, out taking walks. It's just a wonderful place. I see we have one of our staff members here, Zach, over here. He spends time there and can corroborate this. It's a wonderful place to spend time. So please come out and visit us. If you do come out, you'll find out that the faces are a little bit different than what they used to be. As most of you probably know, longtime mayor Randy Curlis resigned this year, and as did Peggy Burge. And so we had a sort of a domino effect. Annie Shalha was on the city council. She was appointed by the city council to be mayor, which left us without a quorum. We had two new members of the council, myself and Neil Hewitt, who were both elected this year. But with Annie gone and one other opening, we were without a quorum, and our third city council member was actually appointed by Governor Otter's office. That's Diane Brockway. An excellent addition. She's been living in Dover for about the last 6 years, brings a lot of experience in both financial as well as environmental issues. So it's an excellent addition to our council. And then our fourth member of the council, Rowdy McDonald, a longtime resident of Dover. I think he's lived there for the past 20 years, working for the county president. So our mayor, council, all new faces. We have a new city clerk. Many of you might know Jackie Albright. She came to us from Southside Water and Sewer. I must admit I'm the one who poached her. So the president of Southside Water and Sewer, who is my longtime business partner for the last 30 years, didn't talk to me for a day or two. But she's just an excellent addition. And like I said, pretty much a very new group out there. We made some changes. The first one is we did get a bit of a start because lack of a quorum for a while. changing positions and such, so we got off to a slow start in getting city business done. We've gone to 2 city council meetings a month, so we meet both on the second and the fourth Thursdays at 7 o'clock. We welcome anybody and everybody who would like to come and visit, and we usually start our meetings with a speaker of some type of public interest. We've had people there talking about noxious weeds. We've had people talking about different construction issues, housing, just a wide range of different areas of interest. Tonight, I believe it is our city engineer is going to be talking about our new emergency exit. As probably many of you know, the whole area that's to the south of Highway 2 there has only a single exit right there by the bridge. And so after many years of work, we got an agreement with the railway, and so we're setting up a new emergency exit right there by West Side Fire. And so while it won't be a general purpose entrance and exit, it will be an emergency exit to be used. And so that's very exciting for us, and so that'll be the discussion that begins our meeting today. A lot of things happening. The list is very long. We have a very active council, a council that reads everything ahead of time before coming to the meetings, comes prepared, and takes on a lot of tasks, which is quite enjoyable. For example, in the streets area, we have had a number of projects. So I've talked about one of them, the railway project. As many of you know, we had a failure of the culvert on Ontario, so that had to be replaced and rebuilt. So that's been one of the projects. We had a washout on Pine Street during the winter months, so there was another project. Repaving around the post office, another one, and we're just going through and redoing signage. A lot of the signage around Dover had just sort of worn out. You know, you knew it was a stop sign because it was 8-sided. That was about the only indication you had. So we've got the signage up to date and such. We've been rebuilding a lot of our financial structure within Dover. And this has been important for us with a completely new council, new mayor, just getting up to date as to where all the monies are and how it flows. And so Mayor Shaha and the council worked on writing a completely new ordinance for all the, how we do our banking practices. Zach over here has been working with us along with New McAfee to better define our finances. We also had monies that we knew we had in the LGIP in Boise, but it was difficult to discern exactly where that money went. Some of it was water, some of it sewer, some of it streets, just making sure we understand where our money is and who owns it. So there's been a lot of work in that area. We did pass our budget, very little fanfare. And this year, for the first time in many years, we did not take advantage of the 3% allowable increase on the property taxes. We shrunk our budget. This is both in terms of our general budget, we shrunk quite significantly, as well as our water budget. This was work by the council, not just in the budgeting cycle. This has been our project from day one until we got to the budgeting process. We've been going through and better understanding our processes, better understanding where we needed to spend our money, and spending it in the right places. The water budget has been a pretty significant change. We've reduced our water losses by about 80% over the last 8 months. And so that kicks back quite well into our O&M budget in terms of a reduction there. So that was a welcome change. We've also made changes. We've privatized our management of our water system. So we use water systems management. Bob Hansen's group is now managing our water system. And so they've come in, they bring a lot of experience. They're also handling our backup on our sewer plant. So gone out to bring in some additional expertise to help us with our management. As a result, we've reduced our O&M budget, I think, by about 25% on the water side. And this is a welcome change, and as a result,